Hello and thanks for watching my video. Today we're doing a video looking at the Thief, and particularly looking at PvE and specifically raids. Now this is a build that I found extremely effective and generally will give you a huge amount of DPS, and I was surprised in fact how much DPS I was actually going to be getting. So I want to go through this build quickly, and it's pretty standard. You look at the gear, it's DPS gear, power, precision, ferocity, Rune of the Scholar, and so the trinkets are actually defense. I'm going to keep a couple of these condition damage trinkets in there just to give you a little bit less DPS, so that you can actually see generally a good amount of DPS with minus these two out here. Just because I think sometimes they get a little bit unrealistic results, and so this is hopefully what you're going to see. Looking at traits, we go for Trickery, Critical Strikes, and Daredevil. The reason we go for this is because when we attack from the side or behind, we get haste. We increase our initiative. Stealing grants you and all nearby allies vigor, and you rip boons from your target. You increase damage and condition damage per initiative spent, so steal recharges faster. This is an interesting one. I'm going to have a look at this, particularly in detail, and whether or not it's actually worthwhile using other initiative. And also stealing uses days. I use this for removing a bit of the defiance bar, as opposed to either doing initiative or actually applying confusion. We're going for the DPS here, so we're going for critical strikes. We gain bonus critical hit chance when hitting from the side or behind, and we gain fury when we strike an enemy below 90% health. We gain ferocity based on a precision. We gain increased critical damage against foes whose health is above 50%. And when we land a critical hit under the effect of Fury, we increase the duration of Fury. Now, I actually have all these boons equipped here, just to give you an idea of what you're like in a raid, or if you're in a Zerg. We actually have the Daredevil trait as well equipped, and we actually deal damage to enemies within the threshold, so the closer we are, the more damage we're doing. We gain health when we evade an attack. And while we're doing a staff, we gain endurance for each initiative point spent. So every time you use one of these, you do a lot of you actually gain some health. And you gain endurance when you successfully steal. Again, there you can see we steal boons, we daze, we get endurance regeneration, and we get initiative back. And we also have bound, so when we dodge, we do damage. So let's actually have a look at this in action. And there is a number of reasons why I wanted to show you this, because there's a lot of debate whether or not it's best just to auto attack, and then perhaps maybe you've got Fist Flurry if you want to do pulmonary impact. And let's just quickly show you. So we do that, and then I actually missed that. So I'm just auto attacking now. But let's actually just show you again the Fist Flurry, and then we get Palm Strike. And that will put something on the kitty. Now, you can see here the kitty golem. I've actually put 25 stacks of vulnerability, because vulnerability is very easy to put on the golem, and I'm assuming that most people know that. So here we go. We're going to press this, and then we're going to do it again. And now watch here. Let's have a look what we do. Pulmonary impact does 5,400 damage. Okay, so not bad. So let's just look at our auto attack. So we're going to go just auto attack. I'm not actually doing anything right now. And look at the damage that we're actually doing. Hell of a lot of damage. We're looking for the numbers to the left hand side, and we're doing this, and I want to compare it to how we're going to do this when we actually just use skill 5. Now skill 5 is bound. Now bound does a lot of damage, does 3,300, but let's actually look and compare it to what we're actually doing here. So I'm going to do 5, there we go, and so we do 1,300 damage. But are we actually doing more DPS to do it using that bound? Because what we're actually getting, we're getting a bonus for lead attacks as well. We get increased damage. So let's do 3 times. I'm going to do this. And we're actually doing around 2,600 damage. Yeah, 2,668. That's our average damage we're doing. So let's do 3 bounds, and then we're going to do the auto attack again. So the reason why we've got this lead attacks increased damage, so you can see now it's actually now at 2,726, 2,745. So we're actually gone up a little bit, but is that significantly enough to use the bound? And there's a lot of debate about this. Personally, I like doing bound because it's kind of easy to do. As long as you hit your target, if you're doing the same. I personally think you're not losing too much DPS. There's a lot of bit of debate about this. And you can tell by this video, and you can actually look at it yourself. Personally, I think the reason for doing 3 bounds in a row, giving you that lead attacks, very good against a boss such as the Veiled Guardian or even Gorseval when they're static. Less so against perhaps maybe Matthias. It's very good for moving around the map, just actually getting you around the place. So again, if we look, you can see here doing 2-4, sort of 2-500, 2-4-0-6, and then if we actually do this 3 times, and then what are we doing here? Well, we're getting 3,000 now. So we're actually doing a bit more. That's 2,700, 3,000. I personally feel having this lead attack is doing us more damage, and that's why for me I like to do the 3 bounds in a row and then carry on auto attacking. You do not need to use 2, 3, or 4 in any of these particular if you're DPSing. We're doing a lot of damage here, a lot of damage. We can actually, obviously, if we need to remove the Defiance Bar, think of Slothazar, or the Veiled Guardian when you need to break them. These skills here, this is where you can actually come in. Now, anything regarding the weapon swap, I generally just stick in Staff. If, for example, on Gorseval, we've been really lacking the removal of the Defiance Bar, I just swap it. The only reason I have pistol is because I have hope. So I'll swap into pistol, and you can see we've got unload here. Again, you get more initiative you spend, you get these lead attacks. But it's primarily for this daze. The daze can remove a lot of the Defiance Bar, and actually quite handy. You see I use steel there, so we're just going to do that and stun. But let's do the bound, and again, bound. So we do, a lot of DPS with the 1500, but is that the time it takes to do that bound, which is about a second, and then auto attack, is that the same as what we're actually getting, for the auto attack? We're doing around about, you can see here, about 1100 to 1500 damage. But what do we do for a bound? Bound, you get 1300. And for me, in my opinion, I don't think you lose enough much DPS by doing bound. So that's why I prefer just to do bound, primarily just for the extra damage that you do with lead attacks, and you can do it for 3 times. Again, bang, 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 and that damage, you can see 1340. How much damage we're actually getting here? Okay, look, we're not doing the 1300. We're not okay. We might do 1300 there. So that's why, with the increased amount you get from lead attacks, I feel it's much more beneficial. So it's pretty easy, this build. I mean, seriously, I've played Ranger, I've played Druid, I've played Necromancer, Condi Necro, I've played Dragon Hunter, I've played Elementalist, obviously, because you've seen that. I've played Revenant, I've played a DPS and a Tank Revenant, I've played a PS Warrior, I've played a Conditioned Damage Engineer, I've also played, the only profession I've not done a raid with is the Mesmer. And out of all those categories, honestly, the easiest, for me, for actually worrying about, rotations and stuff, has been the Thief. It is extremely easy because this is all you're doing. You've got 2 signets here, or 3 signets. The Signet of Malice, because if you lose health, you're actually going to get more from attacking. You've got increased power, increased precision. You don't even need to bother activating that. And these 2 are only ever used to remove a bit of the Defiance Bar. I don't really honestly see the point of using the Palm Strike. Again, you can see what we get for Pulmonary Impact, 4,500. Again, I don't think that's much DPS, but the fact that you actually can remove some of the Defiance Bar, that's what makes it much better. So for me, honestly, this is a very, very easy build to do. Okay, we've got some of the boons that we've got going here, which is making it pretty impressive. But again, quickness we'll get a lot, because if we're, stacking with the right position, we should be getting quickness. Fury and Might will definitely be up all the time by the Revenants and the Warrior, and everything else doesn't really matter because we're not dodging too much. Even if you dodge, now if I come out of this, you do damage by dodging. Okay, not too much there, and again damage there. So you see we crit for 7,500, and again we're doing a lot of damage with bound, 1,400, and then we didn't crit there. So if we do crit, we can do a significant amount of damage full bound, and so that's why. Vault is what it is, and I do feel Vault is a very good skill to use. And again, if we use it 3 times. Again, we're doing 1,400 damage. Significant amount of damage. Definitely worthwhile doing. So, again, you've seen the traits. This isn't really a hard build. If you're talking about rotations and when to do things, this is simple enough. If you're just in Sequatl, if you're in the Shatterer fight, this is a build where you just stack and you auto-attack. Okay, you've got this weakening charge, and how much DPS does this do? So let's see how we do. Okay, That's it. So you're out of position. That's why you don't want to do that, because you'll lose the DPS. And 3 is same as well. You do this little dodge back and you're out of position. Well, what about 4? Sweep the ground and blind them. Okay, it doesn't do much damage. Not worth doing. Really, generally isn't. Again, if you look here, you do 3,600. I mean, if you do it three times in a row, you might get that lead attacks back, but it's just not the same for doing bound, because you can do a significant amount more damage with Volt. Sorry, I keep saying bound, but bound's the trait that you use for dodging for when you dodge. So you can see here, we dodge into it and then we do 8,600. So that's what you do with bound. So this is a really easy build. You know, it's not too hard to do. I recommend just getting your gear, you know, DPS gear. Even, you know, I'm getting this amount of damage and I've got 2 trinkets that aren't even DPS. Admittedly, I have some food on as well, but this is, you know, you look at this, the staff. I've got power, precision, vitality, and ferocity, superior sigil of force, and a superior sigil of air. And this is going to be critting a lot. And you're wondering why I got the precise world versus world infusion. It's because you get that extra tick for damage, for precision and power, rather than just going for the standard, you know, using the laurels. But look, just look at our power. We've got 3,200. We've got a lot of precision, and this would be even higher if we actually had these 2 as ascended items. So I'm hoping this has been useful, and, you know, I know it's boring. It's very, very, very boring gameplay, and in fact, you know, if you weren't being attacked, it's kind of tedious, but you serve an important role, and if you want that, then this is a good thing to do. So if we can remove all our boons, so let's actually see what damage we do, and let's just see what we're actually going to be up when we're just attacking normally. So let's see what we do. So again, if we attack from the side, you'll see we get fury, and again we get increased fury. We're actually getting quickness, and so this is what we're doing normally. I'm not doing anything here. We're getting fury, and we're just from attacking the side. Again, we'll do Volt, and again, so this is without. You can see here that we've got the lead attacks now. So this is just with fury, no might at all, and obviously you can see how much less you're actually going to be doing damage-wise with no might at 25 stacks. So again, that's to show you just how it is if you're going around roaming in the world. But damn, this is just me on my own attacking. No boons, nothing. Okay, he's got 25 stacks of vulnerability, but this is very, very easy to go around and kill things. Should we change the golem? Okay, let's adjust the enemy golem. Add conditions. So we've got all the conditions if we want to add them. Let's adjust. So we'll kill the golem. Let's summon an enemy golem. Let's do for a weak enemy, and so let's go in. So this is just us going in, attacking, 1,400 toughness, 1,000,000 health. What can we do? Okay, let's go in with bound. Let's go in with Volt. I'll keep calling it bound. It's just a trait. So here we go. We've got quickness and we've got fury. Let's see what we do. We've got obviously the lead attacks. So look at the damage we're actually doing. It's fairly standard. We actually are applying the vulnerability on there again, so that's why I don't see the necessary need to put the 25 stacks on there, or to, you know, it's not a big deal removing that. But you can see we're doing crit, and this is just 1,000,000 health. This enemy has 1,000,000 health. So let's actually see what comes up. So our DPS. So let's actually have a look at that. So as we move away, the DPS was 7,000. So 7,000 with nothing on there at all. No foods, no boons that we actually had equipped. Nothing at all. So let's just compare that. So our DPS is 7,000. So let's put all the boons on us. And not only that, I'm gonna, if you're in a raid, you're gonna have like banners. You're gonna have teammates giving you like the rangers, for example, with their spirits. So let's add all the boons. Add every single boon we got. Let's add also profession-specific enhancements. So the all of the available enhancements. So the Revenant giving you naturalistic resonance. You've got the banners. You've got vampiric aura. You've got alacrity. You've got grace of the land. You've got spotter. Everything. So this is a maximum DPS. This is everything you can possibly want besides food. So let's see what we do. Let's go with bound, Vault again. And then we can see we're doing more damage because we've got all these items. So here we go. Let's actually check this out. And what we're going to do, I'm not going to check out the DPS. It'll be DPS when we actually get to the next stage. So you can see how much damage we're doing. It's actually recording the time. So I'm going to kill it first. So let's kill it first. And just the enemy. Let's kill the golem. And we'll summon the enemy golem and we'll give him a low health pool. and I'm not going to inflict any conditions. Now, generally, if they had 25 stacks of vuln, we might be doing a little bit more, but let's again, we're behind him, so we're going to be auto attacking, and let's see what we get. I was a little bit off there. So let's see what our DPS is, and it'll pop up. Our DPS is 18,000. Not bad. Okay, can we get even better? Let's have a look again. What we got here? I'm going to do. So we've got 20,000. Okay, let's do three volts, and let's see if DPS actually does any different. It's just so easy. This 19,000. All right. So, again, it would say that perhaps maybe the you doing the vault isn't that good for the DPS. So I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to go we are just going to auto attack. That's all we're going to do. We're going to auto attack, and let's see what we do. Let's see how much DPS we can get. So this is our maximum. I'm going to put the conditions on the enemy golem like Vuln as well. So here we go. So this is summon an enemy golem. Health pool, we're going to have weak enemy, and we're going to put vulnerability on it. So here we go, combat, so vulnerability, I'm going to have full stack of vulnerability. Let's see what we can do. So I'm not going to do vault, I'm just going to go auto attack. Here we go, let's see what we can do. This is going to be fun. You'll notice again, the amount of DPS we can do. I know some of you will say, well, it's an unrealistic idea of what you can actually do, but generally it's not far off. Okay, now we'll be getting Grace of the Land. You'll probably have a Necro. You'll probably have a PS Warrior giving you banners. You'll have a Ranger Druid. You might be giving you spirits. So there's a lot of this that's actually definitely tangible and definitely that's actually realistic. So here we go. This is just auto attacking. We've got 19,8387 DPS going on. And it'll be interesting to see if I could actually increase this. Rotations wise, it's easy. And that's why I'm going to suggest this build for people. If you want to go for Thief, get this Daredevil build. It's really easy to do. It doesn't mean you have to. It means that you can focus more on mechanics. So now we did 19,393. Not bad. Can we beat that? So we were actually doing higher DPS at a certain point. We'll put the vulnerability on again. So adjust the enemy golem, and we'll put the vulnerability. And we're going to put that again at 25 stacks. And you can see I was actually doing some different damage like burning and whatever. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to vault in 3 times, okay? And then we're going to go auto attack. So every time we run out of the lead attacks, we're going to go in with a vault 3 times just to bring that back up. And we're going to see how this compares to the DPS. Well, already I'm at 24,000. Well, that's pretty impressive. So here we go. And now we're going to go in with vault. And again, and so here we go, 23,179. All right, not bad. Let's see how we're going to keep going. Again, we've got another 7 seconds of this, so we'll wait for our initiative to recharge. 22,000 DPS. Okay, are we ready? Okay, now we're going to go in. 1, 2, 3, and then auto attack. And that's it. So that should be enough to kill off this golem. 21,000. Okay. Hopefully this should go up for this last stage. Let's see how we do. 21,000. That shows you, using this vault, you actually get a higher DPS than you do just by auto-attacking. So, using vault, which gives you the trait, because you're using initiative, it's the trait where you get this one here, increases damage and condition damage per initiative spent. So, we actually get an extra 15% damage. Yeah, that's right. By doing 3 volts, we do an extra 15% damage for 15 seconds. I mean, it is well worth taking that trait. So that's why you can see a realistic DPS increase by doing vault 3 times, then auto attacking. So a lot of people have told me, that it's not worth doing this. However, I completely I would have to say, on this evidence, I would disagree. I would use these 3 volts just because of the damage we were likely to do, and then auto attack. So I'm hoping this has been a video that you'll enjoy. I appreciate the debate on this. If people have alternate opinions, I'd absolutely like to hear from this. Obviously, again, this is certain situations and you may not have all these available to you. And again, for example, Matthias, you won't be able to hit all your staff attacks because Matthias will be moving around the map a lot. And that's where having Vault comes into things, because it gets you that extra damage that you're doing. So there we go, guys. This is my DPS thief build, pretty much OP in terms of how much damage you can actually output. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you on the next one.